Hello. Before I even start this video, I want to give a fair warning that this is going to be a story about rape and molestation. So there will be language, there'll be a lot of graphic details. So if that's something that you are uncomfortable with listening to, don't watch this video. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, I don't know why. I just feel compelled to tell my story about the rapes and molestations that I have been through. Hopefully, this will maybe help somebody, or somebody can relate to it and it can help them. Anyways, I have been molested twice, and I have been raped 3 times. These are all separate incidents that are completely unrelated to each other. I'll just go in chronological order. I will say that the most recent one, I am not going to talk about. I'm not ready. It's the worst one. It's the most disturbing, and I can't go there. But I will talk about the other ones. So the first time I was molested, I was in 1st grade. It wasn't by an adult, but it was by another student. He happened to sit next to me in class, and I still feel guilty for all of these incidents. I always feel like something was my fault, or somehow I could have I don't know. I was like, how old are you in 1st grade? Like 6, 7? I didn't know. But he would reach over and he would rub my vagina. And eventually the teacher noticed. I mean, I don't know why it took so long for her to notice. You'd think that's something you would notice. I don't know. But I always felt strange when it happened. I always knew that something wasn't right, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know I was supposed to say anything. I didn't know. And once they found out, they have a 0 tolerance policy. He got expelled. I have no idea what happened to him. And I never got counseling. They just told me that there's good touch and there's bad touch, and that was bad touch. And then, let's see, chronologically, let me do this in the right order. Then, when I was, I think, 19, I was in a relationship with someone. And I had been in a relationship with this person for a while. And we went to, a party at somebody's house. And we both got drunk. And we went to go to sleep in one of the, guest bedrooms or whatever, because I don't want to drink and drive. And I think he blacked out because his personality just changed like that. Like, he was never like this before. He was never like this after. I don't know what happened, but he just started making moves, and I was like, yeah, I mean, of course, you're my boyfriend. We're drunk. Let's do this. And then he just started getting kind of violent and, flipped me over. And started pushing my face in the ground, and I didn't like it, so I would try to kind of resist it or whatever. And then as soon as I started resisting what he was doing, he kept threatening me with anal, which is something that I don't do, and it was something that, it's painful if you're not lubricated. It's painful if you don't go slow and do things the correct way. So I was really scared because I thought he was just going to try to shove it in there, and that would be painful. It would. I know what it feels like to when a man accidentally, when he's going at it and he accidentally pulls out and hits the wrong thing, and So I mean and so he kept pushing my face into the ground and saying, "Be quiet, shut up, or else I'm gonna stick it in your ass," is what he was saying, basically. And for some reason, I just kind of was like, I don't know what to do. He's stronger than me, so I just kind of stopped fighting him and just let him get it over with. He, forcefully had me perform oral on him to where I'm choking and unable to breathe. He rubbed all of his genitalia and all of that stuff down there. He rubbed it all over my face. He shoved my face in the ground. And then when he got off, he just rolled over and fucking passed out, butt naked and everything. And for a while I didn't realize it was rape because we were in a relationship, and I know that sounds really stupid and ignorant, but you're always told that it's going to be some random stranger that like pulls you out from an alley and, you know, beats you half to death and rapes you and kills you. I wasn't educated, and I didn't understand. I do now, of course. Then the second time, or the third time something happened, the second rape, I was probably in my early 20s, 20 or 21, probably about 21. I had met these girls at my apartment complex. There were two of them, so the three of us were at the swimming pool, and they just invited me to come to their apartment and hang out, and there was a whole bunch of them that lived in their apartment. It was like a 2-bedroom apartment, and there were like 3 couples, and like an extra guy that all lived there, and then like a bunch of kids. And the men were Mexican. They spoke very broken English, but the women, their girlfriends, the ones that I met at the pool, they like translated for me, and like translated for them for me. So it was like a interesting cultural experience, you know, being able to see how they lived and the kind of music that they listened to. And we hung out for a while. I hung out with them for a while. You know, we went to like clubs where they played their music, and I was like the only, you know, besides those 2 girls, like we were like the only white people there, and everybody was speaking Spanish, and it was just like kind of fun and exciting. It turns out that they were drug dealers. I didn't care. I'm a recovering drug addict, so like it obviously didn't bother me. I thought it was a good thing at the time. Good for me, I guess. I don't know. And one night, you know, we were all drinking. I got drunk, and we were doing drugs, and one of the guys was like, just come in here and I'll smoke with you. Smoking weed. He said, I'll smoke with you. I was like, shit, you know, free, you know, I get to smoke, fine. So we went in there, he like smoked with me, and I eventually just fell asleep in that bedroom. And it was more like passing out because I had drank so much, but like, I don't know. It's not like I was just go, and then I crashed. It's like I laid down on the bed and I was like, I'm out, and I went to sleep. And the next thing that I knew, I woke up and I was laying on my stomach and my pants were off and he was inside me. I think this had to have been hours later because the sun was up, like the sun was shining in the windows. So I don't know what all he had done with me that night. I still don't know. But I woke up and he was inside me, and I woke up and I like came to and I was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? What's going on? He jumped back real quick and like stood in the corner of the room, and he just like had deer in headlight eyes, and I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I put my clothes on real quick. They're on the floor. And I ran out of the room into the rest of the apartment, and I was like, I woke up and his dick was inside me. And they're like, well, you shouldn't have gone in there with him. And I just thought, are you fucking kidding me? You're women. You're supposed to, like, I don't know. I just expected them to care. So I left. I called the police. I didn't know the guy's last name. I think his first name was Juan. I did a rape kit, but they didn't find any semen. So basically nothing happened with him. I filed a report, I got the rape kit, and then nothing happened. And the next time I was raped, it was once again, I was in a relationship with somebody, and we were staying at a hotel just for like fun, you know, like just, I don't know, just new scenery, just to go do something. There was a swimming pool. So we stayed the night at a hotel, and once again, we were drinking, getting drunk in the hotel room, hanging out, the 2 of us. And I fell asleep, and I thought he fell asleep next to me, with me in the bed. And once again, like we had sex earlier or whatever, you know, like while we were drinking. But then once it was time to go to bed, it's like, I'm going to bed. So I fell asleep. I thought he fell asleep too. And once again, I woke up, and he was inside me. And I woke up, and once again I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, and he just flat out denied it. He was like, I wasn't doing anything. What do you mean? I was like, you were just having sex with me. while I was asleep. What do you mean? What do I mean? Like, and he just denied it. He's like, I wasn't doing anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. He just denied and denied and denied. I'm like, your dick is out. My pants are off. I'm laying on my stomach. And I was asleep. What? Let's just put two and two together. What the fuck? And he just denied. And nothing came of that one either, because, you know, at that point, I knew it was rape, even though I was in a relationship, but I just didn't know what to do, and I ended up not telling anybody. I ended up not doing anything. And then the last time something happened, it was a molestation, and like I said, I am not going to get into that one. I just can't. But I don't know what the point of me telling this story is. I guess to try to help people. It's very scary for me because this is something that I just don't talk about. I've been to therapy in the past. I've talked about my molestations and rapes a few times here and there. It's just not something I bring up. It's just not something I talk about. There's a lot of shame and guilt that I still feel when it comes to all of those situations, especially, not even especially, I was going to say especially the last one, but honestly, all of them. You know, it's hard when something happens to you that's out of your control, but you still feel like it's your fault somehow. I know a lot of rape victims feel that way. I feel that way too. I feel like if I wouldn't have put myself in those dangerous situations, or if I would have said something sooner, or if I wouldn't have got drunk around people, or if I, but it's never the victim's fault. Rapes happen because there are rapists, and that is the only reason they happen. I have a really hard time with intimacy, with sex. I struggle with it because more often than not, in my experience, sex has been a negative experience. I just have a warped way of thinking about it. I think intimacy is holding hands and kissing and talking about things that matter to you and laughing. Sex is not intimacy to me. Sex is sex. Sex is you get off, I might get off. I just struggle with it, and I know that the rapes and molestations have a lot to do with it. I'm sure there are so many rapes out here that go unreported, like most of mine. And the one that did get reported, nothing fucking happened to him. Once the police went to his apartment, and by the time the police were there, he was gone. And the women were like, we don't know what you're talking about. So, nothing came of that anyways. So, none of these people got in trouble. I didn't speak up about a few of them, whatever, 2 of them or 3 of them, I don't know. The kid one, I didn't speak up about that, but the boy just, he did get in trouble. He got expelled from the school. I don't know. It makes me wonder what the hell was going on at his home, in his home life. It had to have been fucked up. But, I don't know. This was hard. I always think people who tell their stories are so fucking brave. And I don't know. I guess I'll just go ahead and go. I don't have shit else to say, I guess. Just know that if you've been raped or molested, it is not your fault. It's not your fault. And you can get better. You can. I can. I'm a lot better now than I have been in the past. I've done a lot of things with like self-harm, and I've had a lot of problems with addiction. I'm clean now, and I haven't self-harmed in a long, long time. Years. So it's just one of those things where it's unfortunate, and when it happens, most people don't know what to do. You always say, well, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? You don't know what you'll do until you're put in the situation. You just don't. There's so much shame, and there's so much negativity when it comes to it that a lot of people don't speak up, and once they do, people don't believe them. I don't know. I guess I'll go ahead and go. Just remember there's always hope. Tomorrow will be a better day.